Okay, here we are again at Starbucks. It's Saturday morning, the 23rd of June. Haven't gotten anything done. Not really. Like I said yesterday, when a city like the city of Los Angeles paints themselves in the local media, sometimes even the national media, as a great city and all this kind of crap, it isn't. And it isn't because they attack the homeless. They don't do it directly, they do it indirectly. They speak in secret whispers. You can hear the police department in their stinking, lousy locker rooms talking about the events of the day. You can hear all the crap going on behind your back. They even speak in secret whispers when they bring you up before a judge for whatever menial thing they try and screw with you on. So anyway, sorry, I had a small technical problem there. I think my laptop got disconnected there. I didn't want to be running on batteries. So anyway, let's get down to brass tacks. In the last two videos I talked about, and I have to limit my talking. I have to carefully release any kind of information because, see, the government steals information from me, and they do it now by watching YouTube. Before, it was a little more difficult. They had to use whatever methods they could, like an enemy of the state. That's a little over-dramatized about how capable they are of spying on people. But they're pretty capable, even if they don't have your phone tapped and other things that they use. But it doesn't matter, you know. What the real loser in all this is them. And you, the people of the United States, because you screwed me over. Like I said, you know, you don't wake up with me every morning. You don't feel the pain and agony I feel every morning that my buses, my cars, my boats, my motorhomes, all the stuff that you people followed me around on took from me. So if people who have that spiritual philosophy of, oh, you know, even in What the Bleep, one guy says, you know, if you have a victim mentality, there's no such thing as a victim mentality. There are victims on this planet. Oh, and then they try to say their stupid philosophy of, oh, if you think, and like even Dr. Emoto, if you pray, everything will work. Who are you praying to? What collectivity are you praying to? Let me tell you. This is why I have been attacked the way I've been attacked. Because all of you, like Carl Jung said, have a collective unconsciousness. And you know what the hell you're doing. No matter how smart or stupid you are, you know what you're doing. In the movie, What the Bleep, they talk about superposition. And now when you're looking at something, it's particles of experience. And when you're not looking, it's waves of information. Or waves of possibility, excuse me. But there's a lot of contradiction in there, because light, like it speaks in the movie, is not dualistic. It's either there or it isn't. Or it is and it is there and it isn't there at the same time. Well, how's that possible? It doesn't matter how you frame it, in any words, in any language. Dr. Emoto's, once you start putting the puzzle together, you will start having bad luck of the kind that is unbelievable. And the reason for the bad luck is not because you're a bad person. It's because you are not you are getting wise to the anomalies that exist, invisible anomalies that exist on this planet that feed off of your energy. Remember one of my other videos, I told you, and it's going to be proven pretty soon, beyond any shadow of any doubt, that these beings eat your energy. When a person lives, when a person dies, when they feel pain, when they go through any of their emotional states. That includes animals on the lower chain of life, as they seem to call it. Humans seem to think that they're, really bright and intellectual. They aren't. I proved that in all my other videos with the wars, examples of more than 7,000 years of wars and less than 300 of peace worldwide in bits and pieces. But it's interesting in bits and pieces how, in the movie What the Bleep, they talk about how the electron was here, it wasn't, it was there, it either went through the slot or it didn't, or it bounced off, whatever. What you people have to understand is that when I talked about DNA, it's all bits and pieces. They talk about bits and pieces in the movie What the Bleep. I talk about bits and pieces in different ways. Bits and pieces of the DNA. Bits and pieces of a collective unconsciousness that you people can't get a grip on. And those of you that do are usually end up being avatars, unfortunately. And avatars that are attacked, like Muhammad, like Christ, like Buddha. Oh, they were attacked, trust me. They're still attacked to this day because their ideas are attacked. But the ideas are incomplete. Christ's ideas are incomplete. The faith idea is incomplete. The Buddhist ideas are incomplete. The Bhagavatas are incomplete. Everything is incomplete because it was planned that way by your own minds, by the puzzle that you have forced to put yourself together. Some of you want to remain ignorant and not know that life isn't what you think it is. You know what it is. When those electrons, when they put an observer next to the electron, they talk about observation, that changes things. Oh, really? That's interesting. Why didn't my observations of the police and the mayor's office and all the crappy people, why didn't my observations change that? Please don't take my bus. Please don't. Please. They didn't care. All they cared about is money. Money and the pain and agony they cause others, and giving themselves the piss-poor excuse of, well, I had the law on my side. The law says I can do that, even if I hurt somebody financially or mentally and cause them to fall into a depression. This is where, in the movie What the Bleep, they're trying to even ramp us, trying to project the idea that if everyone prays, and Dr. Emoto, if everyone prays during the tsunami, things will not be as bad. There were 37 generators running. Remember I said I predicted 9/11 7 years before it happened? Actually, more like 8 years. One of the scientists talks about having 37 generators running the day of 9/11. And at 8:30 in the morning, the bell-shaped graph was like a bell, and it swings when things are about to happen. Well, this bell swung a few hours before 9/11 actually happened. Well, when you talk about making predictions with random number generators, how is this connected to, and get ready for this. On YouTube, there's a few YouTube things, quite a few, that talk about top secret agencies and so on. Numbers are part of the big, what I call, conspiracy against humans, and humans' conspiracy when they look in the mirror against themselves. Doesn't matter whether they do good deeds or bad deeds. They're all bad deeds. Because humans, it's not a good deed until you have your ducks in a row, until you have all your affairs truly in order. And mankind has never had their affairs truly in order because they don't have the right leaders. See, that's the problem. And you think that a person like me, that if I were to all of a sudden get tremendous power and authority, that it would go to my head? I don't think so, because I don't like you people at all. I don't even want to be a part of you. I don't want to be here. You've taken everything that I worked for the last more than 3 decades. Why should I give you anything, especially if I hold the secrets to the universe? If I hold the secrets to a star warp drive, an actual working engine, screw you, human race. You don't deserve to be out there. I deserve to be out there traveling and going to see other life forms and doing things that humans will. By the time I got out there, just a couple of light years out, this world would have passed me by, and everybody who's ever done damage to me is gone and dead. I still wouldn't turn around and come back. Because you cannot give me the years that your country stole from me. And you shouldn't have done it, because the random generators were predicting 9/11. I predicted it 8 years. Other people predicted it too. There's no joke about this. It's what they call a collective consciousness. Everything is connected. And through hate or love, or I like to use the word care in place of the word love, through hate and real care, true, honest, compassionate care, those invisible anomalies, like the electrons, they're almost invisible, get energy off of all of you. And these stories keep cropping up. The story of the Matrix. That's not a far cry from what I'm talking about. Only it's not computer generated. It's mind control. It's mind generated. Mind generated at the DNA and the atomic level. So the mistakes, the pains and agonies that you cause people, you cause to yourselves. I don't have to prove it. Remember what I said? 7,000 years, more than 7,000 years of wars and bits and pieces all over the planet. Now, back to the 37 random generators running that day. Turns out that the government, according to information that has been hypothesized from bits and pieces of information they've gotten, and the government knows that this is possible, has 38 top secret levels. Really? That's interesting. The number 38 and 37, there's just one number difference between 38 and 37. But it turns out that the highest level, there's only less than 5 people that know pretty much everything that's needed to be known about safety and security of the United States. Like I talked about the leaders of the big countries, Russia and the United States, having the footballs, the nuclear footballs, like they're still pointing missiles at each other. What the heck is going on with them? Are they nuts? Are they cuckoo? They are. You're only doing damage to yourselves because, 1, you did damage to me. 2, you did damage to tons of people all over the planet. And there's no way that you can make amends for the damages you do, no matter how much free food you give them, no matter how much free money you give them, no matter how much support you give them. Nothing can turn the clock of time backwards. Nothing. And certainly isn't going to give you immortality or reverse your aging process. One number difference between the 37 generators running that day and the 38 top secret levels is the one number that makes the difference. But those people that are at those top levels have no idea what real quantum realities are really about, because no one's frozen an atom yet. Oh, they're working on it. But I give you a warning that if you do succeed doing it, there's more energy in the empty space between a hydrogen atom and its electron than you could possibly ever imagine. One of the scientists mentioned it in the movie What the Bleep. You watch the movie, you can see what he says. How much energy is really in that empty space. And with that much empty space, as soon as you freeze an atom, could that set off a chain reaction among other atoms since everything is connected? Would the universe finally know that something has happened that isn't supposed to, or that was destined to happen, so it would make another Big Bang? Of course, depending on where the Big Bang occurred, if it occurred here, we'd be gone in an instant. And then the new Big Bang would spread out further into the universe to create another galaxy or galaxies from the material that explodes from this type of event. So the bottom line is they make a big deal about cloning. And the government says, well, it's legal or illegal. I'm going, hey, you're doing other things besides cloning that goes way beyond the possibility of the energy that would be released. For instance, the fact that there are more stars in one atom of the 100 trillion cells in the human body. There are more atoms in that one cell of a human body than there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Now, I'm going to have to continue this with a part 2, because it's just too long to go into. And no one, you'd have to watch what I'm talking about over and over again to be able to toss your mind back and forth like a ping pong ball. And every time you toss to one side, you're understanding one thing. But when I talk about a different subject and I go to the other side, you have to understand that the transition from one side to the next is natural. It's a way I keep the invisible anomalies from keeping me from giving you information that you're supposed to have so you can make the transitions yourselves and actually be in true control of your life, of which the more people that know this, the more all these people that are control freaks that think that they have all the answers, or they think that their rights are more important than your rights are because you're not as well off as they are, that ends. And that's the whole purpose to humanity. For people to be fair. And I have not been treated fair. I've been turned into a wandering person, no money, no way to get around, nothing, because these people don't care. They don't know the first thing about love. And your 7,000 years of war, prove it beyond any doubt. Part 2 will come up.